Welcome to Road America. Located in Wisconsin, Road America is one of North America's most iconic road courses. Opened in 1955, it remains virtually unchanged. An old-school circuit built for raw speed, bravery, and endurance. At 6.5 kilometers, with 14 turns, it's one of the longest permanent racetracks in the US, and it's perfectly suited for drama of the multi-class racing. From the rumble of prototypes to the growl of GT machines, Road America puts every car of class and every driver to the test. The track features long straights, sweeping high-speed corners, heavy braking zones, and massive elevation changes. Throw in traffic in multi-classes and you get chaos, strategy, and non-stop action. Over the years, Road America has hosted everything from Can-Am to Indycar, Moto America, Nascar, and of course the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. It's the place where top-tier machinery meets pure racing DNA. In Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club, Road America has hosted the 2022 Indy Racing Championship, the 2023 IMSA Assetto Corsa Sports Car Championship, and the 2024 IMSA Vintage Championship. Multi-class here, it's all about timing, awareness, and trust. A GT car holds their line through the fast sweepers. A prototype slices through under braking. One mistake and it all unravels here. So let's break down the key zones of this American classic. Starting off with turn 1, the uphill right. Approaching at top speed after the long front straight. Multi-class traffic means prototypes dive down the inside while GTs defend their line. It's tight at the apex and chaos on lap 1. Turn 8, the carousel. A short burst into the legendary long right-hander. This carousel is all about holding the speed. LMP2s stretch their legs here and pin it flat out, while the GTs focus on survival, just kicking the throttle. Then, just after that, we head into turn 10, the kink. One of the most revered and feared corners in American racing. Flat out for prototypes, borderline for GTs. Misjudge traffic here and you're in the wall. No runoff, no forgiveness. Turn 12, after the long straight, we head into Canada corner. Fast, downhill braking into the sharp right. A true test of overtaking opportunity, but only if you trust the traffic ahead in multi-class. It's brave or bust. And then the final corner. Slow exit onto the long front straight, on track, miss the apex, and you'll lose out seconds. Lap traffic often get caught out here. Open the door for game-changing moves. Road America is a classic, pure racing. In multi-class battles, it becomes a chess match at 200 kilometers. Traffic management, split-second calls, and car control is absolutely on the edge. But overtaking wrong at the moment, you're toast. Hesitate at the kink, you're gone. And push in the draft, you're a hero or a highlight reel. Fast flowing and full momentum in that matter. Road America in multi-class racing is simply unmatched. So if you want drama, this is where you're gonna find it. But in the world of Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club, this will be hosted the third round of the 2025 Endurance Championship. Imola has had its high stakes, and especially for our prototype class, it took a toll with amazing action. But with the unforgiving nature of the circuit, it is now set back a few on this road to glory. But with the halfway point done and dusted, it's now time to nail down the final 2 rounds of the championship. Rumors speculate about Andy Masu Racing getting back on the grid for the remainder of the season, but after a short hiatus from the league, we're going to find out if this powerhouse team is potentially back on the grid. It may bring some hard competition to the already stacked field, but when we talk about the prototypes, it's Mike, who went 2 for 2 after the Italian Grand Prix, and with a good cushion behind him. It may be tough to fight back. However, speculation of Van Dorn having international flight struggles after not being able to carry his 2 winning trophies over the border to North America. He may sit this one out. As for the field, and he'll see the rest for the finale at Sao Paulo. Teammate Anna Adam is furious about his retirement, however, and wants to make a clear statement that he is the man to beat. He has topped all the practice sessions so far, and it could be a chance for the Canadian on home continental turf to take a well-deserving win. It's the halfway point of the finale with this championship at hand, and we are in the Americas for it. who will be champion come the end, as this is round 3, the United States CMRSC Endurance Grand Prix. Welcome to Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club, and welcome back to another round of the Endurance Championship. It's another week in CMRSC, and we are getting ready to go for qualifying. The drivers finishing up their practice sessions, and we are just now awaiting the countdown for the beginning of this fast-paced qualifying session. So with all the drivers sitting in pit road, a couple of them still out on track, notably Danny Nasseir. Ooh, as he just taps the wall there. Want to welcome everybody out here to this penultimate round of the championship. And as you see, Danny Nasseir just entering the pits now and getting ready for this one here. So, let's go talk to the drivers now. All right, welcome everyone to the third round of the championship qualifying about to get underway. Just remember the procedures that were all labeled in the rules. 10 minutes out for the GTEs. Once the first 10 minutes are up, there will be a virtual checkered flag at the final 15 minutes left to go into qualifying. That is where the virtual checkered flag comes out. Best of luck, everyone. So only LMPs allowed on track. GTEs allowed on track. LMPs in the pits. LMPs in the pits. And we're getting ready already right now for the beginning of qualifying here. Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club getting ready for action. You do not want to miss it. And we're just going to take a quick little intermission as we get up the drone camera and make sure everything is good to go on our forefront here. So stick with us and we will be ready with action here on track for this United States Grand Prix. And of course, the penultimate round of the championship, where all points are going to be very important coming down to this one. We hope you enjoy the action that's going to be set off here in just a couple seconds. So why not we get this one underway here for another round of qualifying, shall we? Another round of qualifying here in Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club. Welcome to the United States Grand Prix here at Road America. The GTE category is out on circuit, ready to go for a very, very important qualifying for some of the drivers in this championship. But as we see, the first drivers that we're going to be taking on and watching around here for a lap is Sven. And Sven coming around the final corner, one of the main drivers to watch out for in this championship picture as he comes around here in his Ferrari. He's going to be a big threat around here, so let's see what a lap time he will be putting down for the rest of the competition to look at. As he crosses over the start-finish line, let's go on board with him. Heading into turn one, braking hard now, heading for the first corner, kissing the apex, using all the exit to return out, back onto the circuit on the racing line, heading up into turn two, breaking the 100-meter board, turn it in, and then get it accelerated out right away. Now into the next short straight. And then hard on the brakes now for the left-hander. Accelerating right out. And then up the hill, right back on the brakes once again. Kiss the apex to the left-hander. And then swing it over to the right. Downhill we go. Brake at the 150. A little bit of lockup you hear on the inside tire. But Sven keeps this one moving on so far as purple first sector was taken down by Peter Sabot. And now as they head around the carousel, he has to face off against the almighty kink around this part of the circuit. Flick to the right. Lots of commitment, and you see a little twitch there coming from Sven. Either way, keeps this one planted down. And heading into Canada corner, breaking a straight line. Hard as you can, swing it into the right-hander, accelerating out. And then flick it to the left-hander. Oh, a little slide once again, dipping a tire off the circuit. Tazayaki has taken the second sector purple. But meanwhile, as Santos makes a mistake at the final corner, we watch Sven and the time that the drivers are going to be chasing down. It looks to be a 2-minute 3:98 down the order. Here we have Eduardo, who goes up into fourth, I should say, as Peter Sabot puts that time pole position 2:03.089. Eyes are on this man, though. Miro Rodribi, however, he's gone purple in the middle sector. He's got a personal improvement in the first. The third sector to beat and the final corner to overcome. He's done a great job at an exit, and now he races to the line. Is this potentially going to be pole position? Across it now from 12th position, he advances up to only 4th, almost 4/10 off that lap. So great qualifying stuff here so far. Just gonna increase that there and just make that leaderboard, should I say the timing board at the top, a little more accurate and visible. Continuing on here, hard on the brakes, flick it into the left-hander and accelerate right out. Trying to see if we can get corner names up here. Track description, I believe it might be called. And here we see Sabo's going to have a lovely tow here through the kink, but Sven has matched his lap time heading into the final parts of this lap. What can Sven do in the closing stages? Couple corners left to navigate. His purple second sector has already been taken down into the final corner. Once again, diving that tire on the outside and making a bit of a mistake there for himself. But can he regain back provisional pole as he races up the hill? The drivers don't have much time left, so it's going to be an important one as he comes across the line. It will be! And 12/1000 of a second separate. It's a 2:03.077. And Peter Sabo took it to the pits. And he's back out for one final run. One last run here. As interestingly, Sven, the fastest driver on medium compound tires. Separate. It's a 2:03. Making sure audio levels are good. But yes, medium tire on pole for the time being. Is there any chance at Peter Sabo regaining back pole position? Is there a chance at all? As you see him on his outlap, we look down the order and Ilham's got it wrong at the previous corner. And he's going to have to take to the grass, accelerating back out onto the circuit. Make sure he does not interfere with Eduardo's lap just ahead in the Porsche. Who do we have next to look at? As I believe we're hearing that Sven is coming right back out on circuit. We look here to Daniel Santos, who looks to take down a 1:27.901 in Sector 2. Can he do it? As he has his teammate just behind him, rounding through the long carousel that really stresses out your tires. And now it's up to the kink. How do you navigate through it this time around? A lot more cleaner and a lot more smoother. And he's faster than Sven in the second sector. Only just. Remember, Sven did dip a tire up the road this part here. Santos is going to have to really watch himself in this Ferrari and put all the pieces together for this one. A little bit of the curb on the outside, but it should be a lot better. Final corner to navigate and accelerate out. Little twitch on to the exit curb, but he races nonetheless to the line. 2:03.077 to beat. Can Daniel Santos take pole position for himself? Yes, he does. 2:03.048. It's a Ferrari 1-2. And here comes Peter Sabo. 45.0 to beat in Sector 1. 45.080. Nailing it down, does he? Little wide. You're going to get the exit there, and look at that! Does not improve his first, but he's faster in the first sector, but a little bit of a slide as he headed up to the uphill left. Local yellows coming out. I think that's Stephen Bola, who's, he's off the circuit out of turn 1. Nonetheless, still huge chances at a potential pole position here for Peter. And what can he do to navigate around here? Exiting out the carousel. We look to watch down his sector 2 lap time. Very crucial to get this one right. 27.876. Can he do it? He's a 10th off and needs to pull off something in this final sector because of how close the top 3 is in lap times, especially Sven looking to potentially improve and maybe go pole position. We don't know. So virtual checkered flag is out. Virtual checkered flag is out. Peter Sabo around the final corner. Can he do anything? He nails it to the pits. Does not feel it. Lesmana is on a good lap around here. But we look to actually will stay with Ilham. Can he take a potential first pole position here as he races up the hill? He's nailed the middle sector. He may have gone a little slower in the first, but is this still going to be enough to put him at the top of the lineup? No, it's not. Behind him, here comes Izzy. No, he took it to the pits. Yes, he did. Sven's taken his car to the pits. A lot of the drivers entering it for the final time. Eamon racing now, as well as we have our newcomer here, Ryan Caesar. Eamon, final opportunity. If he can take down the top lap, is there a chance for him? Little lift and accelerating right back out through the kink in the dying stages of qualifying. Is there a chance for him to take pole position? Through the kink he goes. Looks pretty good behind him. Ryan is also improving his personal, but it's a second off over almost 2 seconds as we watch Ryan now. And he is also 4 seconds. So these 2 lap times are not going to be anywhere near the top, that's for sure. But nonetheless, around the final corner, drifts it. Not going to help him. Might just want to take that one straight to the pits. And yes, he does. Last but not least, Ryan comes around to finish this lap. Or is he going to take it to the pits? No, he's going to keep this one out on track. And Ryan's going to come across the line to complete his lap time here and stays 10th position. All right, so at this point, all GTE cars must be in their pit box now. Great qualifying there for our top 3, Daniel, Sven, and Miro. That is your top 3. LMP2 qualifying starts in just over 2 minutes. At the exact 10 minutes left to go in the session, that is when you're allowed to leave your pit box. If you leave your pit box before the 10 minutes left mark, you'll receive a 10-second time penalty for your end race result. So, now it's time to get this one underway. A couple drivers, I think. Actually, no, it's Anderson Bayana who missed his qualifying session. He's in the pits. And just to readjust, I think it was Peter who actually got 3rd position there. He's just restarting to get back into the session. So, nonetheless, 10 minutes exact, that is when prototypes can come out. So, great qualifying there from the drivers. And is there going to be another surprise as we get ready for this prototype qualifying excellence that we're going to see here? Let's take a look once again at those liveries here. Christian Ramau, Anna Adam, Danny Nasseir, Maximilian. And then we have some of the GTE classes. Santos, Bola, Tazayaki, Esbir, Burrito. Anderson Bayano for his debut of this one. Sven, Lacey, Paulo, Ryan in his debut. Daniel Thompson as well for his debut. And that's a special looking livery there that was not seen at Imola, but it was ready for it. Ilham and Miro. That's your drivers who are in the pit lane. And we wait for the green light of this one. This is going to be a hell of a qualifying for these top guys. Here we go. Qualifying about to get underway in 10 seconds. Drivers ready to go, revving up. Is there a chance? Green light, green light. LMP2s, you can head out on track. GTEs must stay in their pit box at all times. So here we go. It's prototype qualifying. So as all the drivers head on to the circuit, we only have a couple of them here in this LMP2 class, but you take a look at this overshot here at this beautiful circuit. We are live here at Road America for the third round of the championship. It's currently 9:10 a.m. on the session, but we will be rewinding the clock as we get ready for racing in a couple of moments' time. And interestingly enough, Anna Adam has just taken it into the pits. What has happened to him? He's probably realized he's not on the right fuel, maybe? And yeah, he's back out. So here, taxi driver Regan Milana in chat. Welcome. Need a taxi? We shall see if we do need one. Maybe we need Mike Van Dorn to get one because he's not going to be joining us for today's round. Of course, you know, he's got stopped by airport security, and that was purely because he wasn't even able to carry his 2 winning trophies. So very unfortunate that we couldn't see him here. So he's decided to take a little sit-back break from the American round, and he'll see the drivers at Brazil, or maybe he's at Brazil for the rest. But here we go. Maximilian. Oh, no! And beginning his first lap time is going to get ruined here. He comes to a screeching halt. Christian Ramal's going to catch him out of nowhere, and both of these drivers are going to have a slow start to this lap. But it's going to be Christian Ramal, the first driver we watch on board here. Heading into turn 1, braking hard, quick flick to the right. Shifted into 5th, looking for 6th. It's 6th down. Couple gears over the curb, right back out. Just seeing Peter Sabot just join into the session now as we watch Christian Ramal here, looking to the downhill section of this circuit here, braking just before the 200-meter board, accelerating out, using that exit on the concrete. Let's take it over to the skies here. Into the left-hander, using all the exit curb available to him. Little bit of extra curbing on the left. It's going to allow Ramal the faster flick. But as we watch him now into the next left-hander, a little slide there, but now he enters into the double right-handers of the carousel. But accelerating out, looking pretty good this lap. Just the kink left to go through, and it's easy, very easy. Completely flat out through the section. And then through Kettle Bottoms and heading into Canada Corner. Little tap of the brake, back out. Maximilian has aced the second sector. Of course, that first sector, he needs to put another lap time because it's going to be probably close between Ramal and Fleer. By the time these 2 laps are done with my prediction, Christian Ramal was going to take this one. Nonetheless, though, here comes Christian Ramal, the Brazilian, looking for a pole position here in the United States. Comes across the line. The driver's going to be chasing down a invalid lap time of a 1:57. So it's Max who takes provisional right now with a 1:58.34. First lap on the board there, as followed by Danny Nasseir, P2, 53.323. So an invalid lap time from Christian Ramau, and here comes Anna Adam. Now coming around the final corner, turn 14, and then getting right back on the loud pedal. He was one of the quickest throughout practice. Can he keep that momentum up as he races up the hill and to the line? It's the lap time that potentially will put him on provisional. Yes, it does. 50.327. 5 minutes, 21 seconds left to go here in this qualifying session, and Christian Ramau is going to want to get this lap time on the board as soon as possible before starting off on the back foot. In this United States Grand Prix. Couple corners though to navigate for Christian, and we look to the 19-1 he's got to take down, and he's just a 10th over, 10th and a half. And now as he heads into Canada corner, accelerating out, good exit from him. Up the hill, little kink to the left for 13, and now final corner for 14. Great exit there from him. This is definitely going to pick him up some good time on the board. He crosses the line. He's going to put down a 150.632. And here comes Max across the line. 150.253. And a new driver on pole. And Anna Adam is going to want to take that down back as soon as possible. Here comes Danny Nasseir. We're also getting word that Klaus Klint will be rejoining us now for one of his first rounds. So we're going to see 5 of these LMP2s. But Danny and Crum across the line cannot improve. So 150.253 is pole right now. And is there any chance a new driver could take pole? Well, we shall find out in due time. Just making sure our, the camera is working. I think I just have to restart it on my side here. I don't think, unfortunately, have that one working there, so that's a bit of a shame. Nonetheless, though, Maximilian is flying on this qualifying session, and he's gone purple in the first sector with 3 minutes left to go. 18.5 is going to go slower in the middle. May not be the lap time to go faster this time by, and he slides the rear end. He's going to have to back out of that lap time before he wrecks his car. And is there a chance for Fleer to maybe improve? I mean, I'm not too sure. I'm being optimistic there. He's really going to have to wind this one up and try to go for this one more time. Maybe take it into the pits even. Comes across the line and 7/10 off, and that was just those mistakes he took out on the final couple of corners. Here comes Nasseir around the final corner. A great exit there from him, and now goes up the hill, heading up to turn number 1, but he's got to cross the start-finish line here, and it's not going to be as fast as the next driver in line, so struggling a little bit there as Anna Adam is purple at Sector 1, and we have a real qualifying battle on our hands. Purple in the first sector, Anna Adam. We're going to watch also Maximilian. Here comes Max across the first sector, and he's also up. So 2 drivers up on this one, but the purple first sector for overall fastest is going to Anna Adam. Anna with a 40.369, followed by Max's 40.478. But Anna Adam has lost some time, 2/10 to be exact. Losing time in the middle sector and exiting out Canada corner. He is a Canadian himself, uses all the exit that he can possibly gain around those final 2 corners. And now, the final corner here for Anna Adam. Desperation now in the final minute of qualifying. He'll be able to go for one more, but is this the one to seal the deal? To put him on provisional pole position? Yes, it is! It's a 50.042! How does Max reply to that one? I'll tell you how. 38-0 against a 38-4 in Sector 2. And now as he races to Sector 3, he's got a 31-2 to beat. And the overall time of a 50-0-4-2. Can he take it back to Germany? Yes, he does! 150-004. He takes it to the pits, realizing there's nothing left for me to accomplish here. And now it's Anna Adam with one final opportunity to take a crucial point in this championship. Across Sector 1, 40.478. Oh, and he's almost matched it, just lost a tiny bit. But I'd say with all the timing that they've lost in the middle sector, it's still a massive opportunity towards the end of this one. Anna Adam, couple corners to go, and with the checkered flag out, eyes are on the one driver on circuit. Has to put it all on the table here. Long right-hander through the carousel. And a late qualifying drama here. 1:18.548. If he can get 2/10 faster, this could be a chance for a huge pole position for him across the line. Oh, and it's exactly 2/10 down. He did go wide at Canada corner. This one's a lot more cleaner. Up the hill now through turn 13. Now turn 14. One corner to go. Race to the line. All eyes are on you, both from the paddock and on the stream. Can the Canadian of Anna Adam put this car back on pole position? Yes, he does! 49.929. And the Canadian goes pole position in the dying stages of qualifying here at Road America. It's the third round complete in qualifying, and the Canadian on continental turf takes pole with an incredible lap time there on the board. 149.929, the only driver to sub the 150s. Exciting qualifying to the end. Congratulations to your top three, Adam, Max, and Christian. And that is going to do it here, ladies and gentlemen. That is an amazing qualifying, done and dusted. Anna Adam taking pole position like we've all too familiar with. 75. That was the one, 7500ths. That is how we're getting here. Chat is saying, close race incoming. Well, keep your wits about you. All right, so for all our new drivers there joining us here, welcome to your first round of Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club for this championship. Just to quickly go through, we're going to be starting off with a one-lap rolling start. That is what the extra 4 minutes on the board says. So find out where you are on the grid, who's beside you, who's ahead of you, and who's behind you. You're going to try to do your best to go 2 by 2. If there's any point where you need to go single file, we will allow it. We will wait until everybody gets through Canada corner. And that is when we are going to allow everybody to start closing up to each other. So by Canada corner, it's the end of the back straight. You must be in double file position right behind the driver ahead of you. Minute and 48 left to go here. Once again, rolling start for the drivers in P1 and P2 in the LMP2 class. Your max is 100 kilometers. The drivers behind, you must do that pace and make sure you are keeping a little bit of space between the car ahead, because you don't need to close up until we get to the back straight and just after. So minute 27, make sure you have your setups locked in. Make sure you hit that steering wheel button on your screen. And we get this one in it. We gotta say, chat, that Nasseir needs to stop sandbagging. Insane commentary. Love this stream. Good luck, Miro. Thank you so much for the compliments there. If you, I think some of the drivers know this, but maybe not all the viewers. I was commentating for the 24 hours of Le Mans for AC Friends going on right now. So, you know, we wish best of luck to those drivers there. And a couple, one of our CMRSC favorites in that field, but of course not representing us. So I was commentating for them a little earlier on, so I've got my decent bit of warm-up, I'll call it. But now we get into racing conditions here. Rolling start for these guys. Are going to stay close together. unfortunately, I don't think we see the likes of Klaus Klint for this one. I think he was trying to get his system started up. He did have a couple of issues there. So, the driver's ready to come off the field, off the grid, and onto this rolling start in about 5 seconds. Here we go for the rolling start. And we're underway. So here we go. The drivers all ready to go here for the 4th round of the championship. Let's take a little flashback to just a couple of years ago, back in 2023. And we remember the championship round for IMSA. Shout out there. I think that's Sean Lee in the chat, locked in and ready to go. Sean, we miss you, man, and we hope to see you very soon. We take a flashback to 2023's IMSA Assetto Corsa Sports Car Championship back at Road America, where the GTE cars did an absolute war around Road America. We had a 4-car battle between the likes of Aston Martin, BMW, and Corvette and Ferrari, the top 4 big drivers out of there. But now a whole different field with a whole different set of drivers. Not one of those guys in the GTE field are here today like they were back those years ago. So it's a whole different field here. So we're going to get some unique racing, but if it's anything to go off from Imola, the drivers were mentioning that Imola is going to feel just like this here at Road America, where it's going to be a lot of bottlenecking, a lot of places where GTE cars are going to be hard to overtake at certain parts of the circuit. There's only 4 of them here today out of the 8 that are confirmed for this championship. That's also including Lucas Smith, Jaden Harrison, Mike Van Dorn, Klaus Klint. With the latter, Klaus, unable, I think he's just continuing to have some PC issues. In terms of Jaden Harrison, he's currently taking part in the iRacing Spa 24. Back in my days, yeah, I know, I'm a little old when it comes to this league. 4 years running. Well, I'll say 3.5 years. Our 4-year birthday coming up. So, why don't we get this one underway? And let me just hit you with a brand new graphic here. Bang! I know it's still a work in progress, but hopefully this is going to finally solve all the issues the leaderboard's been having. But, yeah, it's still a work in progress, but did want to put up a brand new leaderboard. And we hope it's looking a little bit cleaner. This is also a little nod to what we had years ago as well. But yes, so it's constantly being worked on. But that's the first version. So we're going to look back at this stream and say, that was a great race. And this is going to be an awesome one to look back at history in CMRSC, especially with the HUD. So start to go 2 by 2. You must be going 2 by 2 and following behind the car ahead. And let's sound this one off, shall we? So, heading around the final corner now. And the drivers all ready to go. And let's get this one underway for the penultimate round of the championship. Green flag, green flag, green flag. Underway, and here we go. It's out of Adam, who's got the jump on Max, and they all go through. It's 4 cars to look at, but the GTE class is going to get pretty messy. But there you see Max tucking on the inside. Does he go for a move? He does not. Look at the GTE category. Is there any chance? It's 3 wide in the back. Any drivers that go off? Lots of drivers going wide. One of the Porsches in the wall, hard in the wall. Gets back going, though. Oh, but it's Ilham who drives straight off the circuit. I'm not too sure what's gone wrong with him. Peter Sabol, though, down in third position. He's got a lot of cars that's going to be chasing down, and one of them is his teammate Miro, who goes side by side with him. It's side-by-side BMW teammates. You see the two Team Falcon Shift drivers just up ahead, P1 and P2. In this GTE category now is Miro round the outside. Can he take the position? Teammates still continue to fight off. It's Bola who has trouble, as well as Ilham trying to catch up through the order. There you see your top drivers in the LMP category. And here we go as they head up through the next couple of corners here. Let's try to get a better angle. There we go. Of this GTE battle here behind them. You see Eduardo chasing down Kasper Tazayaki. And Kasper driving an American car around here. The Corvette, the Chevrolet Corvette here. And so far, other than the two couple drivers who did run deep early on, it's starting to look pretty swell in this one. Also at the top of your screen, I've added the time on the server, which actually has the correct information. Oh, but trouble. Daniel Santos goes just that bit wide, but we look up to the top three in the field. Actually, what has happened to Danny Nasseir? May have made a little mistake, slid off after Canada corner, not too sure, but take a look. Christian Ramau on the outside. Two drivers who was trying to fight against Mike Van Dorn and unable to successfully do so. Christian Ramau, however, is going to make the move on Max for another position. So Max has gone down the order from second to third. Only one position, but 90 minutes of racing. Still a long ways to go. As we climb up the order, it's Anna Adam who has the lead of this Grand Prix. This United States Grand Prix continuing to go underway here. Tripping over some of my words. Watching all these drivers come around here, it's always spectacular to see this kind of racing go down here. When we look in the background here, it's this battle that we're watching out for. Christian Ramau, as he's actually closing up that gap quite well. Meanwhile, Daniel Thompson in his debut race, the British driver, down in 14th overall. Looking for some ways to try to get through the field, but as it stands, it's pretty staggered right now, single file through that category. However, P4 has gotten it wrong, and it's Danny Nasseir who may have touched the gravel on the outside. Now, important thing for him, he cannot get swallowed up by that GTE class, or else it's going to be nothing but trouble to try to get through. Here comes Daniel Thompson to try to look for a move on the Porsche up ahead of the Brazilian Paulo. Oh, it may be a little too wide, and Daniel goes off the circuit, spinning around in the gravel. And he's going to have a couple drivers that's going to be overtaking him, including Bola and Caesar. Got to watch the rejoin on the road. Oh, he crosses over the racing line, and he's very lucky to not make any contact with any of those drivers in the rear. Maybe a little too wide. And just making sure audio levels are good to go. But this top three battle all within a second. Three of the best, three different nations here. Canada, Brazil, Germany. Separated by about 7 to 8 tenths each. Down the first straight. Into turn 5. Meanwhile, Peter Sabot and Miro have decided, you know what, let's start to work together now. Let's cut through the order. First man in business as we have trouble for Eamon Espeir. No damage, it looks like, but he's lost a lot of overtakes, maybe hitting the gravel a little too hard as Thompson gets the move on the 4GT of Stephen Bola. And Miro, I'm assuming they're playing the team game. I'm not too sure. As Eamon and Anderson side by side. It's very awesome to see Anderson Baiano back racing with us. It's been a little while, but we're happy to see the Brazilian join us in a field in 2025 where a lot of Brazilian drivers have joined us, and we're very happy to see them do so. Back up to this battle.
And if you are a sim racing enthusiast and you want to look for some sim racing equipment, head on over to Thrustmaster's official website and use code CMRSC on checkout for a 10% off discount. Thank you. We are affiliated with Thrustmaster, and thank you for the opportunity for allowing us to be affiliated there. Meanwhile, Max looking for a move on Christian Ramau. Meanwhile, position being made here is Eduardo and Lacey side by side in the Canada corner. And the American, she's at home trying to fight back, but unfortunately this time around cannot do so. On the second straight, Max, is there a chance for a move here? On the short straight, cannot get it done this time around. Is Max faster than Christian? That's the big question. 3 different drivers, 3 different teams. On board here with the BMW of Miro. The 2.4 hours of Le Mans presented by, well, maybe not yet. An unskippable ad mid-race. Don't hate on the grind as we continue this one off. And Lacey also trying to close this gap up. 8:54 track time. It's going to be 9 a.m. on circuit. Bright and early daylight for these competitors. Into the braking zone now. Looks like a little bit deep there from Brito. And Brito able to just hold off for P10 overall. Right now, though, it's a Ferrari 1-2, BMW 3-4 in the GTE category. But we head up now around the front straight once again. The blend is coming soon between these LMP2 cars and the GTE, so it's going to be very interesting to see what goes down there. Was there a position dropped? I think that's just our leaderboard just having a little bit of fun with us, as Max is not your race leader right now. It is, in fact, still Anna Adam. And Chad is saying Porsche had no pace on this track. Well, right now, the fastest man who won at Imola has trouble. Oh, no! Trouble for Lacey. That's out the kink. Heads it back on the circuit. Here comes Baiano, and smart with Lacey. Stays right off the racing line. Realizes she's a strucken car on the middle of the circuit, and nobody's made contact. And luckily, we can keep this one green flag racing. I don't know, actually. Ilham, and looks like Paulo got it wrong on corner exit of the final corner. As, oh, even Baiano joining the party in the grass. Looks like maybe those tires are getting it wrong. I mean, all of them are running mediums except for Steven. So I'm not too sure if that's maybe the tires being overheated, grass on the circuit. But 3 cars going off on that relative same section. And Chad is saying, can't wait for the start of lapping. I am too, because once we get to that blend point, trouble, hold on. Was there trouble? I think Eamon may have dipped a tire. Yes, he has, because he's lost all the momentum on the mid-straight against Lesmana. Oil on track. Maybe Donkey Kong put a banana peel on circuit as well. But fastest lap for Anna Adam, 56.21 against Christian's 51. So just about a second slower. And, you know, these guys are pretty much matching each other. 51-0 Christian, 51-2 Max. And that battle for P2 still pretty close by, but Anna Adam is trying to extend this gap, and he's done a great job of putting it on down from a second. Round the carousel. A little dip in the tire once again. Eamon looks to be struggling in this early stage in this mid-pack here. The 3rd highest Ferrari. It's not a manufacturer issue around here, that's for sure. But he's starting to hone down and really tighten up. as he puts down a good exit there. Sven, fastest lap for the GTEs. As the top three all doing personal improvements, with Sven 2:03.677, the fastest GTE competitor on circuit. Now as we head into Canada corner now, Max has got a potential chance, but Ryan up the road as well as Steven Bola. They both have to stick to one part of the track, and one driver goes off. It's all about patience up here. Christian Ramau is going to get just that bit hold up as Bola is going to try to let those guys through on the outside, and that's the bottleneck that the drivers are talking about during the week. As that is exactly what we expect to be going on here. But accelerating out, one thing's for sure, the crowd in the US love it. So still, this battle, very close together. And honestly, it's just going to be tiny mistakes like that that's going to make the difference between these two. Meanwhile, Miro and Peter, interesting to note, they're very close together, but Peter's not making any progress to Santos up ahead, and Tazayaki wants to make it. A top three on Falcon shift. Interesting enough, you take a look at those points here in this one. That is how your standings are looking for the GTE drivers. Still very close at the top. Need a closer view? We got it. So 44 points, followed by Eamon's 34, but with both of them struggling in this mid-pack, it's going to be pretty interesting towards the ending of this championship. It's only 4 rounds. Of course, we head on back to the big screen. Both of them dive down the inside of Daniel Thompson. Christian Ramau may have taken a bit more than he could chew. Side by side as they head up through turn 13, the uphill side. It's going to be very wild for the outside move to get done, but it switches to the inside. But the German and Max could not get it done. Back on the front straight once again, and positions still as it stands. Christian Ramau second, Max in third, as they overtake now Anderson Baiano on the front straight. You see just up the road, 2.4. That's the Canadian race leader, Van Adam, making a mistake. One of the fastest drivers at Imola made a mistake and lost it all. This time around, he may have an open goal in front of him at the early stages of this race. Lacey, the next driver to lap, and it's going to be easy pickings for these two LMP2s. Next up the road, as we see a tenth the difference. No tail enders contact, and Christian Ramau gets a spank on the rear end, and Max reminds him he's still there, but maybe it was just a little too late on the brakes. Nothing to worry about. This battle gets even more intense. And will there be a wreck? We don't know. I mean, so far, it's been a championship where there's only been one caution. And because of the new rule set, now the final 8 minutes cannot bring a caution. So if you want to look at it with the new rule set, technically, there's never really been a VSC. But of course, we cannot look past Spa, of course. Either way, Christian Ramau has been able to build up a little bit of a gap, and Paulo is going to be on the entry for Max to go through, and he does so on the inside. I'm going to switch to the outside, and so far, we thought Canada corner would have been a lot worse for the bottlenecking, but maybe it's the last corner because Anna Adam had a bit of trouble there with the Corvette. And now Max can start to press on against Ramau, but Ramau has Ilham in the way, and looks like Max is going to take that advantage too, trying his best to stay within this gap as, a little bit wide there goes the Ferrari of Eamon as he's chasing down P11, which is also basically the midfield of both this race, actually, overall in GTE. Continuing on this race now, 1 hour, 14 minutes left to go. Turn 1 track limits, well, there's not really any track limits around turn 1. Oh, however, there is trouble for Lacey. Track limits, yeah, no, in Road America, I mean, we also saw it, Martin, I think when you were also racing with us at IMSA back in 2023, the track limits were just the same with how wide you can go. And that's the nature of this circuit and what it allows. We've seen it in IndyCar as well, and I think just because it's the setting of the United States that we don't get those kind of track limits around here. However, there are still some track limits on some of the other parts of the circuit. And trouble. Whoa! Max is retired! Is he? I think he's gone. I think he's out the session. I'm not too sure. Max, on our timing screen, still is live on the server. Catching up, I think, to Biano. He's somewhere on the back straight, maybe? I'm not too sure. Has Max retired it from the 3rd round of the championship? I think he has. I think he may have crashed. He may have crashed out. And that is huge heartbreak for Max, who was having a fantastic battle. Is that already it? That will now give Danny Nasseir an automatic podium as, oh, trouble for Lacey going off the circuit. I don't want to hold my chips here, or put them out, because I still don't know. Our timing screens still address them. No, it's confirmed he's retired. Max has retired from the United States Grand Prix, and he may have crashed out the session. And that's a bit unfortunate. We've now come down to 3 drivers here in this LMP2 class. It's so reminiscent of the last time we were here at Road America. We also have this battle here as Eamon gets the move done on Ilham. But that's a huge shame. That is a blow to this championship event here. We're not getting any word at the moment from Max on what in the world went down, but we should get a word very soon. Ilham not giving up though on this battle, but it does leave Christian with nobody to battle with in the rear, and he's free to challenge Eamon ahead. Is there a potential? A quick little move that can go down. Nose to tail between each other. Let's swap over to the other side here. Can any move potentially be done here? And if this is the case, Max is done, which looks like it. Let me add a little bit of heat to the fire. This will actually, in terms of prototype multi-class racing, continues the streak for, guess who? Danny Nasseir. He has now got a guaranteed, as long as he finishes this one, and even if he doesn't, he's already racing more laps than Max. Danny Nasseir will hold now a back-to-back. He's now 2 for 2 as a prototype driver on the podium at Road America, and that is very interesting in this championship, because you think about it, as Lacey enters for her pit stop. Well, some of the faster guys you may look behind. I mean, let's take a look at those points, for example, and I'm just going to quickly swap over to the LMP2 class. And yes, there you see it. With this advantage, Danny will take P3 in this championship. ahead of likes of Max, Luca, Anna, Jaden, and Klaus. Well, not too bad for a driver who knows all too well it's all about staying in it to win it and not over pushing the car and taking yourself out. In order to finish first you must finish. You're not going to always finish first. There's only one driver who can finish first. So you got the other spots below, but points are always going to be delivered to the drivers who are the most consistent, and Danny Nasseir is one of them. So that is truly interesting. And to anybody who's calling it any sort of points fluke at all, that, oh, these guys are retiring. Well, why are you retiring? Keep racing. Stop pushing so hard. And stay in control of your car. In terms of the drivers who are crashing out the session, well, now that I can't tell you. But if any driver who's going to take themselves out of a hard crash with no fault of their own, no fault but their own, well, I don't know. Either way, though, we're about to enter the final 1 hour left to go in this one. It already feels like it's going very quick, this race event is, and we still have quite a bit of fight to follow through, and one of these ones is still Christian Ramau against Anna Adam, who's now going to overtake another driver up here. It's Anderson Bayano gets a drive-through penalty because he's been found speeding in the pits, and that's what happens when you do not test out your things. As Danny Nasseir trying to find his way to go through here. We have Ryan off the circuit as well. And this is where patience comes in. You just got to stay calm. Going through these parts, you're also going to have the carousel in the back straight. So I think Danny realizes that I'm nowhere near the pace to Christian Ramau. I should just keep my car in one piece. That's exactly what he's doing, keeping it calm and staying close to these guys back here. He's now about to head into the kink. And that's exactly what he's going to do, almost side by side, but very simple enough. Going to get through there. Eamon, interestingly, turning in very, very close. Probably didn't realize Danny was there, but either way, here comes Bayano exiting out the pit lane. As well as a move being made here because Miro enters pit lane now here for the first time in his race. And there goes Danny as he's past Ilham, and now this battle continues on for 10th overall. Slipstreaming, the Ferrari is against Lesmana. But you see the Corvette has been set up pretty well around this one. And turn one, a little bit of correction there from Eamon, throwing that car out through turn one. And oh, trouble. Danny, I think, may have tried to lap Steven a little earlier than he expected, maybe. I'm not too sure if there was a miscommunication, but Danny should be able to get past pretty easily. No stress there. And behind them, you also see this fight going on here. The Corvette on his marks as Eamon runs deep and off his mark there. He's also going to have that lapped car ahead. So far, the only retirement out of this one, it's Max, who unfortunately has retired, potentially due to connectivity issues to the server. Personal fastest lap there from Christian Ramau. And he's put down a lap time there of a 1:57.78. Fastest lap overall in this race, 1:50.621. So now only a 10th slower. If he can try to improve these laps a bit more, there's a big chance he can try to catch back up to Anna Adam. And there we see Paulo looking to get the move done here, and gets so because the Guyanese, HP Racing, does back out. Pit lane is busy. For the top 3 drivers, make that top 4. Some of those guys who pitted earlier, including the likes of Miro. He's going to be coming through as fast as he can to try to get this one sorted. Here's Santos on his marks in the pit lane. Past your screens, Danny Nasseir is going to have an easy job of getting all 4 of these drivers. Eamon gets a drive-through for speeding. Insult to injury as he was chasing down Lesmana for position. And the overambitious drive-through coming into the pits. I will say overambitious, trying to get the car slowed down, maybe not practicing where pit exit is, and failed. Ooh, it's trouble there. Oh no, was that Adam? Oh, he goes around the outside. Christian Ramel may take the lead in this Grand Prix, and Adam needs a safe rejoin back on the circuit. He does so. And Adam, I don't know if that was the play there for overtaking on that part of the circuit. But I was gonna say for Eamon, man, I'm getting all my words wrong. That was a real nail-biting moment. If you fail to prepare to fail, there we go, got the words out my mouth. But as for Eamon, he's got a drive-through penalty. As for Anna, Anna decides to go around the outside. There was space that Eduardo let through, and Anna dipped a tire. Simple as that. It's nobody's fault there between the two. It's a miscalculation from Anna Adam. All right, tongue twisters out the way. We have ourselves a race for the lead. And they both still have to make pit stops. But Anna Adam now on the hunt, as well as Ilham and Eamon. And you got to feel for Eamon. He's got to make a pit stop, so this battle's not going to last that long. Miro also chasing down Kasper Tazayaki for position because he lost it during the pit stop phase. Following along through, Christian Ramau capitalizing on the mistakes. You got to remember, it was Adam and Van Dorn who make contact with each other as we have trouble up the road, and that is Ryan, who maybe taking it to the pits. No, he stays out back on the circuit. Behind them, Christian Ramau is going to be ready to lap a couple cars ahead. So watch that gap of 7/10 between himself and Adam behind. Ramau's going to have to do some quick work of these guys here, but he's not that close to get the overtake. This could be the hiccup that could potentially get Adam back in this position here. Both of them following the narrow line to turn 2. Gets it done. Tazayaki also in his battle of his own. You see that Miro's challenging him for that position there, side by side, but defending on the inside. Great defensive move there. Hope it wasn't too late, but now Miro has to go the long way around. It's a drag race. First of the late breakers as Baiano gets his drive-through taken, still side by side. Beautiful racing between the Corvette and the BMW. And they still go side by side. Who is going to be the first to break through? Miro's going to get it done. They have a lap car around the outside to get through. Tazayaki following along. And Miro able to show his work, show his stuff and his talents. Oh, trouble! Peter Sabo's got it wrong! Lost the rear end! Got it going! If he collided with the leaders, that would have been huge. Lots of close battles here. We also have Lesmana still chasing down Eamon despite his drive-through penalty. Nose to tail, however. And Adam they have Bola to overtake. Bola stays to the outside. Adam's gonna follow through. Closely set on this fight here. Who's got the better exit out the two? I would have said Adam, but unfortunately the corner exit's not going to help him. But is there a potential chance of an overtake being made on this lap? 152.8 against 153.0. Better lap time from Adam. You also got to remember how close it was during the lapping phase of all the traffic going on. Next up, it looks like it's the Ferrari of Daniel Santos. This could be very difficult, as I think Nasseir is now heading in for his drive-through penalty. Daniel making it easy for the 2. And he does. Rahul, though, a little bit of oversteer. Through turn 3. Able to hold on. And he needs to hold on to this one. He's already had a fight for P1 in the previous event. And we're getting word from Max. Had a disconnection all of a sudden. I had pace one time, and just something had to happen. Eamon gets the drive-through, and we are still very disappointed with what happened with Max, and we wish he was still in this one, because this would have easily been a 3-car battle for the race win here. But unfortunately is now down to these 2, and I know he's going to be watching the stream, just biting his lower lip, realizing that this race was mine. It was so mine. I was faster than Christian. I could have got at him if he's going to make some mistakes like that. Oh, wow! What a move from Christian Rahul to get a GTE car in between, and it's hampered Anna Adam. What a maneuver there! That is probably move of the race, in my opinion. And that is one of the more ballsy moves I've seen Christian Rahul take in this one. Going through a very, very tight closing window on the stages of that one, especially when Sven was turning in as well. That was close. Meanwhile, Miro and Casper fighting along with each other. But nothing can be done. There was a car that is honestly a chess match between those 2. Going through the traffic, it's all about just limiting the traffic and who you're overtaking at different parts of the circuit. And luckily, he's able to go through, and it's now opened up that gap. However, if Adam is faster, how long is that advantage going to work out for? We haven't even announced it. We're under an hour to go. We are under 1 hour left in this race. And it's still anyone's for the taking in that LMP2 class, but for the GTE category, well, Santos needs to step it up a bit if he wants to catch up to Sven, but right now, looks like Sven has his number. Pretty consistent between the both of them. Peter Sabot, troubles early on. He was sliding the rear quite a bit, but his teammate Miro is looking very feisty around here as he's trying to battle for P7, which is P5 in his class. Oh, trouble there. That was, looks like maybe Boulder may have went off the circuit to let those 2 drivers through. That's exactly what he's done. And Adam, fastest lap of the race. As Lacey and Eamon meet together because there's trouble. Middle of the circuit. Now, the leaders are coming up out of turn 2. But Eamon able to flick spin it. He's in the middle of the straight. Here comes those 2 leaders. But luckily, they should be. If that was a little closer, we could have seen a yellow come out. Also, around the final corner. I think that was Eduardo. Just getting it wrong there. Oh, and Eamon once again. Now caught up in this one, and Eamon is rightfully just staying wide out of that battle there. Oh, and he's struggling. Those tires. Something is wrong with that car. Is he crabbing? Oh, he is. Oh, no, there's trouble. Once again, hits the wall hard. And still carries on. But for how long? I think he knows he needs to take it to the pits immediately. Oh, there's more trouble. Has he got it going? Yes, he has, but this time around, here comes your race leader, Sven, up the road. Oh, there's even more trouble. All right, virtual safety car deployed. Virtual safety car deployed. Just before the carousel, there's Eamon, who is, looks like he's got a bit of damage on his car, so just try to navigate through. For our race leaders, Christian and... Christian, you're a race leader, so maximum 80 kilometers. Pits are open. Pits are open. So there's no overtaking. Do not overtake under virtual safety car conditions. You are just catching up to the LMP2 cars. You're allowed to go full pace until you catch up with the leaders. They are now entering the front straight. And oh boy, do I love to do this. Actually, we'll just enable that in the moment there. So Christian Ramau and Anna Adam in the pits there. So the top two LMP2 cars are in the pits. If you're just crossing over the start-finish line, you're continuing free to catch a round back. You're continuing free to catch a round back. Holy, has it been a while since we've got a VSC this early on in a Grand Prix like this. So once again, pits are open. Pits are open. So this has now caused all the drivers now to start to head in for their pit stops. So remember, there is zero overtaking, zero overtaking. We'll let you know the car to catch up. Once we get all drivers caught up together, that is when we will let through lap traffic together. So both of those cars in the pits. It's been so long, I'll admit, it's been quite a while since we've seen a virtual safety car. I myself have forgot the procedure as well. And I'm just going to make sure I get that one correct. Yes, it's safety car. Okay. I was almost going to hit the wrong button here. So turn 2, the leaders are on turn 2. Start to stack up behind them. Ooh, trouble for Ryan, and he's hit the wall out of Canada corner, maybe pushing a little too hard. Paulo, back up, back up. Paulo, there is zero overtaking, zero overtaking. Shuffle back through or you'll receive a 30-second time penalty by the end of this one. There is zero overtaking. Shuffle behind the second LMP2 car of Christian Ramau. There is zero overtaking. I'm going to repeat that one more time. Zero overtaking under the virtual safety car. If you are caught, it's going to be a large time penalty for you by the end of this race. We're going to make that very clear. A lot of drivers were caught out. So, Adam, that pace is great. Thank you. That's going to allow all these drivers to now catch up to the queue. Leaders are on turn 3. Turn 3. Remember, there is zero overtaking, but you're allowed to go regular speed to catch up to the field if you haven't already. Turn 3, that's where the leaders are. Please use your real time wisely when catching up to the field ahead. Do not slam your brakes or make it unpredictable to the car behind. So pack is coming through now. Can we get single file from the lead pack? Single file. There's also no weaving at this time or any time in under a virtual safety car. A couple drivers still entering pit lane, so we have a bit of a long caution here. And don't worry if you're out of popcorn. Go grab yourself some more. We got a bit of work till we get back on the green. Grab some more popcorn for you. At this point, pits are closed. Pits are closed, so we can get through the lapping process quicker. Pits are closed. Drivers are through to the kink onto the back straight. Leaders are at the back straight. Once again, it's single file. If your name is called, you're allowed to overtake the leaders. To the LMP2 guys, if you could stick to the far left-hand side of the circuit. Paulo, you can overtake the 2 cars ahead. Eamon, you can overtake. Miro, you can overtake. Steven, you can overtake. Lacey, you can overtake. Anderson, you are able to overtake. Ryan, you are free to overtake. Danny, Nasseir. So Danny, you're now caught up. You're on the same lap as those two cars ahead. So we're just going to hold off on the unlapping till we get to the front straight. As for all those drivers who were let through, remember pits are closed. You're just focusing on catching up to the field. So leaders on the final corner, entry, start, finish line. Daniel, you are free to go through. LMP2s, please stay to the left-hand side of the circuit. And slowly starting to get this process shuffle through. So once again, just remember there is zero weaving at all times. So once again, under virtual safety car. For the first time in this United States Grand Prix, the first time in 2 rounds, we have seen the VSC come out, and the first time in this championship where it's come out towards the middle of this race. We're about to enter the halfway point of this one. It's going to be a nice refresher to a lot of these guys who are going to be able to be stacked up. Here comes that rest of the field. So lead pack turn 2. Lead pack is going through the second corner. Remember, there is zero overtaking as you're coming back around. Zero overtaking. And I've just seen, was there an overtake there that Miro had done on Paulo? So whenever you can, Miro, just make sure you let back through the position, because once again, there is no overtaking. You're free to increase your speed to make sure you catch up to the field, but there's no overtaking at this time. And Eamon, just to note, you were behind the BMW of Miro throughout that whole part of the circuit. So if you could just let him back through. He was just slowing down to let through the Porsche ahead. So Miro, you can overtake the Ferrari ahead of you. You can overtake the car ahead. So please do so in a safe manner. And you guys are catching up to the leaders. That's a message for P10, 11, and 12. You're catching up to the leaders. Utilize real time to make sure you're caught up to the order. So, still continuing on under yellow flag conditions here. As Eamon a lap zone, he is, but we are still waiting on all these drivers to come around through as they have. So, lead pack through the carousel, going through the carousel. Once we get to the back straight, we're going to continue letting through any extra drivers that we need to. So since early on, we'll allow some of those drivers to kind of follow through. So Eamon, you can go through. Eamon, you can go through. And Steven, you're also free to go through. Make sure leaders are on the left-hand side of the circuit, and there's no overtaking. Anderson, you're free to overtake those drivers go on the inside. And Ryan, you're free to go through, Make sure you are being predictable. Do not slam on the brakes. as all those drivers just filing through. This will be the last wave around of cars. Once they catch up to the field, we will go back racing. So as it stands right now, we are still staying 100 kilometers. There is no reason to be braking or to be accelerating more in the 80 kilometers than you should be doing on circuit. Remember, pits are closed and we should be good to go by the end of the next lap. We should be good by the end of the next lap. So still under this yellow flag conditions here as the drivers all still stay pretty neat and tidy together. Once again, there looks like to be a bit of a bottleneck back here. And again, not too sure what's going on back there. So as we continue to watch this order from the top here. Waiting for the sign. At this point, it's 1 to go. 1 to go. Just for reference, it's going to be race direction who calls out the restart, as per rules. As you see, Tazayaki just slamming on the brakes quite a bit there, and Paulo is just staying out of line. I think there was a little contact by the end of the back straight. I don't know what it was for, but if Casper did cause that incident for aggressive braking, it would be a heavy penalty. Nonetheless, though, did not see what happened there, so everything is reviewed and looked at after the race. Leaders around turn 2. So still under virtual safety car conditions. We are past the halfway point of this United States Grand Prix. It still could be anyone's game coming to this one here. Now it's closed up the pack, and Anna Adam jumped Christian Romao on pit stops. So those two are close together. Leaders turn 3, lead pack turn 3. So, lead pack should finally be caught up, the tail end of the field. Some drivers may be over a lap down, but they're going to have to stick this one out for another one. But I actually think we may have all the drivers together here. Once the safety car light goes off on your screen, the wave to get ready to go racing could happen at any moment. So keep an eye out. As soon as the real penalty beep goes off and the VSC light goes off on your screen, that is when, at any point, the restart could happen. Get ready for it. Meanwhile, single file and 80 kilometers at all times. Single file, 80 kilometers, and no weaving. Here we go. So the drivers all ready for this restart. Ah, we just got caught in the trees there. There we go. Let's fix that around. green flag, green flag, green flag. Back underway here for the American Grand Prix. Some of the drivers got caught sleeping out. There may be one driver just going a little bit wide there. Can they keep it clean around the final corner? Yes, they do. And we are racing here back again. And the battle for the lead commences. And Adam, Christian Ramau side by side for the race lead. Who's the first one to bite? Can Christian Ramau take it around the outside? And Adam holds off the race lead. In the background, there we see side by side Eduardo and Sven side by side. Can they get the move done? Can Eduardo get through on Sven back again? No, Sven retakes back the race lead. 2 by 2 behind them. Corvette BMW, Corvette BMW. The Porsche also following through. Underway, and the battle for the lead for the GTE still underway here, as Eduardo does not want to let through. He goes a little bit on the curb. Gets going behind them. We look on board with Ilham. And Miro still fighting his way through that order. We go on board. Oh, and he's been contacted, taken out. Kasper Tazayaki's been spun round. We don't know who did it. No idea. It could be Eamon, maybe. I'm not too sure. I'm not going to point fingers. But Eamon, another driver off the circuit, who tagged Kasper Tazayaki in that pack racing. That's the only incident that's gone wrong on this restart lap, and it was a very good way into this lap. But still, no idea what went down there. What we do know is that this battle is getting pretty heated here because Van Dorn, sorry, not Van Dorn, Versti up ahead. Santos going around the long way around. Eduardo looking on board with Peter Sabot, getting names mixed up here for the moment. My apologies. As the wrong Dutch driver in the lead is Bolas off the circuit. Oh, carnage! He hits him, and you know, Bola did the right thing of staying at one spot, because he knew he has to be predictable at those kind of moments here. Santos could not get a better exit to overtake Eduardo in the Porsche. So now Sabot and the BMW gonna go neck and neck with the Portuguese in the Ferrari. Side by side into one. Ryan gets a drive-through for speed and he enters the pits. And still Sabot trying to find a move. Round the outside, goes a little bit deep, but you know what? That BMW has the horses to go through and stay ahead of Santos. And Peter is now on the podium. 3 different manufacturers on the podium, and Ilham might challenge that Ferrari. Looking to the inside, is there a potential bit of space? It's very close between each other, very respectful between each other. Miro just behind them. Uphill braking now. To the left. Flick it into the right. And still, they stay pretty close together, just like we saw at the beginning of this race. And Miro goes down the inside. A surprise move here against Ilham. And he's going to get that one done. The Beamers are very strong on the restart phase. As well as we look just back here, we have Daniel Thompson fighting through, who's got past Lacey up on circuit. Meanwhile, this battle still between a second, but a closer battle we're looking here as Peter Sabot and that BMW has lit a flame and maybe looking for second place now. Exactly what Peter Sabot needs, especially in this championship fight. And he chases down Eduardo. Any chance of an overtake at all? Not too sure. Meanwhile, Baiano loses the move there to a spear. And now 2 tenths behind. Your battle for 3rd position in the GTE category. Thompson runs off the circuit. He's out. Still got back on. Now it's Sabot on the inside. Eduardo to the outside. But still the Porsche keeps ahead. A little bit wide there. Almost a little slide from the rear as that BMW, but still trying to find a move here. Gotta watch out for Santos, because if he puts a nose up the inside of this battle, it could cause a little bit of chaos as Miro watches a 3-car battle with his teammate just behind. Once again, here comes Peter Sabot, trying to look for a move, this time around the outside. Front row seats in this battle here, and I think Eduardo's got a little too deep and made contact with Peter Sabot. It's left Peter off the circuit. Peter went to the pits. Why did Peter Sabot go to the pits? I don't know. But Eduardo still holding on to second. Daniel Santos in sixth, trying to fight through. Gonna get onto the podium maybe. Miro watching all this fight go down. I have no idea what happened to Peter Sabot. Peter's now back on circuit, but why did he teleport? He went back in the circuit, went back in the pit again. He teleported, went back on track. Why did he teleport? I see no reason. May have been a little bit of contact, but why teleport? That has absolutely ruined Peter Sabot's race at a podium. Could have been a race win, and I am absolutely shell-shocked at that decision. I really don't know, but then again, we also didn't see the whole thing. Maybe there was some lag, as Santos and Miro are going to mug the Brazilian. Almost 2 drivers. Miro's not going to be able to get through, but Santos is going to get that mugging perfectly done, and he is back up to second place, and now Eduardo defends for third. Back on the loud pedal. As Peter Sabot, he's retired it. Why in the world? How and what happened? I'm in absolute disbelief why Peter Sabot would retire. Was he shunted off by Eduardo? But they both look pretty close together. We didn't have the perfect angle of it as Miro goes down the inside. Doing well for his teammate there. Eduardo, can he get a move here on the inside? It's going to be side by side in the T2. Long way around for Miro to try to get going. Ilham's going to watch all this battle, and he's going to want a piece of it. Does he make it 3 wide? It all depends on here as they go under the cheese bridge. Side by side, Miro and Ilham go. Where do you defend this car if your name is Eduardo? He picks the inside, but maybe there might be some space. Oh, why would Miro? Miro looks to the inside. He shunted him. I saw that from a mile away. Oh, was it maybe reactive defending? Maybe he turned too late. That might be a close case on that one there. Nah, it was not. So Miro, you're gonna have to let through that position on for Eduardo. So as best as you can, and whenever you can. Because once as Eduardo goes past, you are free to get back racing. Oh, in trouble, Miro! Did he clip the grass? Race direction told him to stay safe out there, and Miro touched the curb. And Thompson also off. Oh, but you know what? Good rallying skills to get right back on. It was the right thing to do to let back the position, but we mentioned that Miro can do it, make sure he's safe about it, and he's touched the gravel on the outside. He didn't have to do it immediately. And I'm not too sure. He's gone ahead and thrown away another 2 BMWs. Man, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say on for Eduardo. So as best as you can, and whenever you can. So yep, BMWs. Race direction did say it clear. As best as you can, wherever you can. And he decides to pick the tail end of the carousel, the wide part of the carousel, and that's going to bring drama there. Now, it's still a long race, 30 minutes left to go to be exact, but 2 BMWs fighting for this podium, and I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure about that one. Not his doing. Peter said he got teleported randomly. Not his doing, so I'm not seeing that on my chat. Maybe you DM'd him there, but thank you for that. I was wondering. I know that Peter's not the guy to ever rage quit. I mean, hell, he's won a championship after just being consistent. So he knows, so him getting teleported, maybe he hit a button on his steering wheel, but you don't just TP to the pits without interacting with AC. However, you know what? This software is pretty old, so it's really now just been heartbreak for the BMW team. And a different BMW who's actually having some decent success picking up the pieces, well, it is Anderson Baiano. But in terms of Miro, I think Miro just stepped wide. And letting drivers through in the carousel, he didn't have to do it immediately. Could have held on his line, but Miro, I think he just wanted to get the car through and get back going. And racing mentality is just like, you know what? That's on me. I'll hold on to the penalty now. And if it's just to let through a guy rather than taking a 10-second time penalty, by the end of this one, he'll take it. But unfortunately, he's left out and lost out a heap lot of more time. As there you see Paulo heading in for a pit stop there, as well as Lesmana. So GTE pit stops getting mixed together with this one. A lot of drivers who did take advantage of the VSC to pit also are going to be out there and staying out. So 3:14 here in the afternoon at Road America. And as we continue this one on, it's going to shuffle a lot of those guys back up to the front of this battle. One of those guys is Miro, who, you know what, made that mistake, and he's back on and going. And credits to him. With the early pit stop under the virtual safety car, it's allowed him on an alternate strategy, and a decent amount of drivers on an alternate strategy. That's including your top leaders, such as Sven and Daniel, Eamon. Was that the right call? It feels like it, because guys who were leading in top three here, Eduardo, pitting very late. But you also got to imagine here that these are crucial laps, that these guys are trying to pit as late as possible. So far, though, our only two retirements, Peter Sabot with a questionable DNF that we still have no idea why or how, really. That's the real question, how it happened. And then we also have Max, who also looks like he crashed out the session. So far, retirements galore here. Look back up to our battle for the race lead, and an entertaining one right now. 27 minutes left to go in this Endurance Championship. And Anna Adam, Christian Ramau, you take a look at those point standings, are going to take some lovely points, and Christian will take the championship lead. Albeit, it's going to be very close. He'll have a 4-point lead against Mike Van Dorn. And Adam is going to get a couple drivers. He should be able to overtake Lucas Smith on points as it stands. But I think the more interesting one to look at is your GT category, because they are looking very interesting right now. Eduardo, P1 on the board there. Where is he on track? Let's find him. P11 overall. He is he in the points? Swap over and see if he is. And no, P8 overall in that one. But we also look at P2, Eamon, who's right now in third. We're still wondering how the pit stop blend is going to go through. Peter Sabo retiring, so his championship hopes are, it may have gone down the drain. Regan Milana also not here today. Daniel Santos, P5, and the points, P2 on the standings. So pretty interesting dynamic. And how close is this battle getting? Christian Ramau, he's got a little taste of his own medicine here, watching some of the lap traffic going through. And he's going to want to just continue to push hard to try to catch up through to the top drivers. And the only top driver in his way, Anna Adam, well, getting through this bit of traffic. On board here with Miro, as he's got Anderson Baiano for P7, which is P4 overall. In terms of both of these competitors here, they both pitted under the VSC, as well as the top drivers ahead of them. So still, big chance at some podiums between them. And here comes Miro, slipstreaming now. And you hear the overspeed, identical BMWs here, but it's all set up. That makes the difference. Pulls out to the inside. Here comes the Belgium driver. Down through. And gets it. And has the position on his hand. So now, Miro up to 4th position. The top 3, all Ferraris. We still got to watch out for the next time these guys pit, if they can make it to the end. 23 minutes left to go. And you look at the fuel differences between a couple of those guys. It's going to be pretty entertaining coming towards the end. So the drivers who did have to make a green flag pit stop, that including the likes of Bola, Ryan, Casper, Lacey, Paulo, and Eduardo, as well as Ilham. Those drivers are the ones to look out for, and just to highlight it here. P7, I think? Is that P7? Yes. P7 and below have all made a pit stop under the virtual safety car. Keep that in mind, because they have a lot of fuel that they still got to burn and ahead of them. But these guys pitting under green is going to confidently get them to another pit stop under green to the very end. Very interesting strategy calls from this group overall. A little bit of trolling once again there. Leaderboard is doing. It's like any leaderboard we try to get working. It's always going to give us a little fun message saying, Let's have a little bit of fun with the commentator. Anna Adam leads the United States Grand Prix. Home continental turf for the Canadian, and still, after making a little mistake, gets his lead back through the pit stop phases and in with a chance of victory. But 3 seconds behind, it's Christian Ramau. As we head into 4 p.m. on track. Christian in second, 3.1 seconds, trying to stay as close as possible. That is how your LMP2s are looking. Danny Nasseir's a little bit far behind to try to get any sort of move. Now we're looking at the battle here for 13th overall. Side-by-side contact is made! And both of them go off! Lacey getting the worst end of the stick! Gets right back going. However, the next driver in line to overtake is pretty far away. It's your race leader, so Lacey into contact, but once again continuing out. Anything to write home about, we are unsure. Baiano, quick stop for him. And he's right back out on circuit. Remember, Anderson was one of those guys who had pitted under the virtual safety car, and now they're having to pit this late on. With about 21 minutes left to go, who has the better pit stop strategy? Between those two. And there we see Danny Nasseir getting past Miro. Oh, Miro hits the wall hard! No suspension damage, and I think he's just hit that thing square on as your race leaders now coming into the pits. Does Santos join him? Santos stays out. Now, here we go. Is there an overcut potential for Daniel Santos to get this race lead off of Sven in the final 20 minutes of this Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club Endurance Championship? Next week out, we head to the finale at Interlagos. You can't pick a better place to finish off a championship. But Interlagos, that's the finale. You do not want to miss it in 1 week's time, or actually in 2 weeks' time. Because we're going to take a break week next week So in 2 weeks' time, the Brazilian Grand Prix for the Endurance Championship. Then we take another week break, and then we begin our next championship, which... I wonder who's listening here, where I can drop a hint. Let's just say... Now, I'll put it like this. To any of our CMRSC drivers and fans, keep an eye on content that has already been created over the past 2 weeks. There's a hint in there of what may be happening next. Now, if anybody's listening, I don't know. Oh, there's trouble. I hear gravel. Yes, it's Bola. Here comes Paulo to catch up. And of course, Steven's a lapped car. So able to go through. A little kick there from Daniel Thompson in his debut race, driving for Spirit Racing's GTE class. Is Lacey just up ahead. She's got a little bit of company with Casper. Bit of a lockup heading down the hill out of turn 3. Just a little bit of behind the scenes for you as we also watch this battle between Eduardo and Eamon. Two drivers have already made their pit stops under green flag conditions. A little behind the scenes for this championship. The United States Grand Prix was originally going to go to Sebring. But why was the switch to Road America? Well, the easiest way to put it, as Santos now comes in for his pit stop, essentially it's just all about the surface of Sebring and how rough it is with some of these cars, and I think the experience level is really different between a lot of those guys in a track like that. But you take a track like Road America, which is a lot more balanced for this kind of close racing, and I would say that Road America delivers and is probably going to deliver a lot better than if we did go to Florida. But Wisconsin giving us a great showcase here. As this battle continues, Santos has lost the race lead as he was not able to open up that gap big enough, and it's down to 15 seconds, so maybe the pit stop earlier for Sven able to go through. Side by side here, a bit of a battle. Esbola using soft compound tires, the only driver on the GTE field to use these softs. And we have Lacey, who may be able to make the move as Anna Adam goes through. Oh, whoa, that was very wide, as well as the other drivers behind them. And Lacey on the inside. Keeping our line now, but has lost out maybe Christian Romao some time. Actually, I say that, it's now down to 2.1. As now Anna is going to go for a little bit of an awkward line just off there, and this is an opportunity for Christian to try to close up some precious tenths of a second. Hard on the brakes once again. Into the left-hander. And Baiano jumps right out the way. To the left. And just able to get past Steven. And the gap has reduced down to 1.6 seconds. And it's going to be more music to Christian's ears because traffic's not done yet. Miro up next, followed by Paulo, Eamon. And Eamon is also in a battle for P7 overall, which is actually P4 in the GT category. We look in the rear. And Eamon, comeback of a lifetime, you may say. It's a great exit for Eamon Asmir. Launches that Ferrari like a rocket ship and goes side by side with the Porsche. Oh, there's a bit of contact as well. Now, how close are you getting there? As we watch here on the cam, Eamon's gonna send it. I know him. And the Italian's gonna go down the inside, and he's got the move, but has he gone a little too deep? Because Eduardo all over the rear now, looking for a position here to the outside. Eamon defends brilliantly. He's going to have the awkward line heading up to the next straight. And a little bit of a... Looks like he may have shifted a little too late. Was Eduardo. And he's going to lose out some time. Let's duck under the bridge. And back up. Now here we go. Remember, Eduardo, couple laps ago, was seen punted off this part of the track. You even see his tire mark. But it looks like Eamon's got through. Eamon, with a comeback at a light time after the VSC incident, able to get right back into this, as I saw a little bit of a slide there from Christian Ramau. And now lap traffic starting to play a big part here, and Eamon is also trying to get out the way. It's lost them both time because Ramau was unable to get past around the outside. Look how close he gets to the grass. You look at Miro, who did touch the grass and went off. Traffic is not over, but there is only one car left, and the gap is 1 second. Next car up the road. It's the Chevrolet of Ilham Lesmana. Are they going to play nice because it's the same team? And looks like he is lifting. A little bit cheeky now, maybe, but he switches to the outside. And the gap, under a second. Just balancing under it at least. But they've gotten through the heavy bits of traffic. Maybe a bit of trouble for one of the cars ahead. Did see some local yellows, not too sure. Might have been Lacey. 52.4 against a 52.2. And Ramau is cooking. Christian now with 13 minutes left to go in this race. And oh, little too deep there from Anna Adam. It's lost him. Some precious time here. 9.7. And now 1.0. Should I say, I think I've just made it sound like it's 9 seconds and 8 tenths. No, just 9 tenths there, but now it's gone up to 1.1. And still, any man's game. Behind them, bit of action going on here. Eamon, has he lost a position back? He has. Eduardo has gone back on Eamon. Eamon may have made a mistake. Pit stops once again continuing to be made. As well as, looks like Miro maybe having a bit of trouble, and he has had a bit of trouble. Off the circuit though, up the road, Paulo. Gotta wonder how those tires are doing for these drivers here. All over the field. Christian Ramau. Any other opportunity to the very end of this one. 11 minutes left to go for this United States Grand Prix. The penultimate round of the championship. And there's still any man's game for this fight here. In terms of GTE, however, it's all dominated by the Dutchman Sven Versteeg, followed by Daniel Santos. Ferrari 1-2. When was the last time you heard that? P3, however, a big P3 if he can get it stuck. Ilham Lesmana, who had trouble at the early goings of this race. However, Eamon has been looking so quick against Eduardo. Eduardo also looking quick himself. Can we see a 3-car fight for third position? They're both catching up. 5.1 and 10 minutes left to go. Very possible. If you're enjoying the stream, make sure to hit that subscribe button, as you're on course for 2,000 subscribers. Like the stream if you are enjoying it as well, as this is some great classic Road America racing. To the end of this one. Thompson, yellows are out. And where is he exactly? He's on turn 2. Behind him, Ryan. But looks like they're not going to make any sort of contact between each other. Adam has been able to open up that gap to 1.4 seconds. And if you're a fan of Thrustmaster and you're on the Thrustmaster website looking to get some products, I got a little deal for you. Use code CMRSC on checkout and you can save yourself 10% as we are affiliated with Thrustmaster. And all proceedings go back to CMRSC. That goes back to the community. Slipstream, engaged. Slingshot, engaged. Round the outside. Does the Italian try to find a move on the Porsche in the late stages. Drifts it around wide. Eduardo is not going to make this one easy. Race winner at Imola. So he knows all the nooks and crannies about leading a Grand Prix and winning it in CMRSC. Neck and neck on the straight. Does the Slipstream help out for Eamon? 5:30 on server. We go up to about 7:30, 7:45. More traffic for your top leaders in the LMP class. Trying to go around the outside. Eamon, unfortunately, unable to find any sort of space. Turn 2. Still nothing can be done. Personal best there from Anderson Baiano. Good lap from him. Spa winner versus the Imola winner. I haven't even thought of that. But yes, Eamon though, he goes down the inside. Any chance of an overtake, still side by side. This is Eamon's best chance at a move here. When we swap our cameras, we're gonna find it. Porsche has the inside line. Eamon's got the outside. It's a daring move. It could be going on the grass, but Eamon successfully gets it done around the outside. Eamon with a fantastic maneuver. And yes, you are correct there, Regan. Eamon, who's your Spa race winner, against Eduardo, who was your Imola race winner, against the top driver in P1, Sven, who was your original race winner at Spa, but because of penalties, he lost out on the win. Lots of storybook conclusions to this one. Traffic is coming up now because Danny Nasseir is catching up. Oh, whoa, Miro makes a move on the inside of Danny? That's one I did not expect. But Miro, I think he's just want to get that move on. He's probably telling Danny to get past him, stop playing the patience game. But for Danny, he's like, keeping it cool. I got no reason to fight any of you guys. I'm going to take my time. And they are still heading up for a battle. And Eduardo, with all his might, has to take it to the pits. And that's going to end any chance at fighting for P4. Eamon, scot-free. But for how long? Because behind them, Paulo and Miro have finally caught up. Trouble, though, around the final corner. And Anderson Baiano faces the tire barrier, similar to what Joseph Newgarden in IndyCar at the same circuit, the same race, just a couple weeks back, made contact with that retired hitters race. But his BMW is pretty beefy, so they don't have to worry about it too much. Now you got to think about guys like Ilham trying to nail it down to the very end. He's 10 laps on that tank. Can he survive for about maybe 5 more? Oh, Eduardo. Contact potentially. I think he may have tapped the wall and pit exit. He's been shuffled down. Whoa, going wide there. Ryan Caesar getting it wrong for the moment. And here comes your race leader, completing lap 41. With 5 minutes and 1 extra lap left to go. Miro now. Can he find the move on Paulo? Because once he does, oh, there's trouble on the main straight. Who was it? Oh, it was Ryan again, and we did not see it live. Swapped out of it. I think he was off the circuit, though. So that's good. Here comes Miro down the inside on Canada corner. The Belgium driver. He's been very good under brakes. And the late braking move is maybe a little too much this time around. And he's going to lose out once again. This is your battle for P5 overall in the standings. With 4 minutes, 46 seconds left to go. Bad exit from the Porsche. Neck and neck on the straight, but Miro's going to have the better run after a cleaner exit. He's going to go through, but the Porsche is now going to pick up the horses and get under the slipstream. Danny's into the pits, so they don't have to worry about him for now. Miro defends the inside. There's a small bit of space. Do you dare to take it? And smart for Apollo is just going to say, you know what? I know exactly what you're doing. You're trying to squeeze me off. You're trying to force me into an error. Well, I'm going to play it patient and try to keep this one alive. And meanwhile, big props to the Corvette driver of Ilham. If he can stick this one out just for a little longer, he is running on an 11-lap tank. Is he going to pit in the later stages, or can he hold on? Oh, but Miro ahead of Paulo. I didn't see it. Or yes, actually we did. Maybe I'm suffering from amnesia as well, with all the fighting that's going on circuit. But yes, he did get the move done on the front straight. Christian Ramau comes into the pits. Now that's the fuel call, and both of them pitted almost identical to each other. Remember, the pit stops. And this is actually smart for Christian Ramau, because Anna Adam has a lot of traffic to still cut through. If he wants to come around and make his pit stop, he couldn't make it. And Anna Adam also had made a pit stop under yellow the last time they pitted. So this one is going to get a whole lot more interesting. However, he cannot lose time. This is all for it. This is all for the marbles here for the final 3 minutes of the United States Grand Prix. He's got Eduardo ahead of him, and look at that, he's having to lift off. He's got to go slow through this one. Not going to help. The carousel is going to have more traffic. Meanwhile, Christian returns out. He's got only 2 cars to overtake. He's got to hope that he gets them on the right side of the circuit. It's really turning into maybe a fuel number. Does Anna Adams stay out, or does he pit? He's got a free pit stop under him, but he needs to take advantage of it this lap. It's a one-time only coupon at the end of the day. Ilham makes it to the pits, and it's so unfortunate that we're not going to see them. Not going to see Ilham make it to the very end on P4, but Paulo gets the move done on Miro, but Miro has the inside. Does he keep it? Does he hold on to it? Door to door, and separated by inches between the two. Through turn 1, turn 2 to dive. No contact between them. Still very close. Keep an eye. Do we see Anna Adam come in for a pit stop? Yes, we do. This is it for the race. Luckily, doesn't speed under pits. Christian Ramau's at Canada corner. Will Christian Ramau be able to come out on the front straight in P1, or at least close enough to fight off Anna Adam? Anna still crawling to the pits. It's a splash and dash from him. Unless he's already made the splash and dash and we missed it. No, he hasn't. He's now entering to his box. Final corner for Christian Ramau. It's going to be a close one. It may be a drag race. Splash and dash. Get the fuel in. Get out on track. He's not going to be able to get out in time. Christian Ramau takes the lead of this United States Grand Prix. And it's a long stop from Anna Adams' pit crew. 1 minute. 8 seconds left to go. We're basically on the 2 to go. Christian Ramau may be able, with the undercut, to take P1. I cannot believe it. Christian Ramau, remember, 1 week ago at the Italian Grand Prix, was fighting against Mike Van Dorn, who was saving fuel to the end. Christian had better fuel. This time, it's almost the same story. 10 seconds the difference, 2 laps to go, but Christian Ramau has quite a bit of traffic up ahead that he will catch on the final lap of this race, and he needs to pray everything goes right. He's leading this one, 10 seconds as well. Anna Adam forced to take the pit stop, and he didn't take it directly the lap after. That may have just cost this race win. That's a gamble that he took to stay out. And you know what? I cannot even fault Anna, because Christian Ramau knew that he saw traffic up ahead, and instead of going through it, he pits early because he knew he had to make a pit stop. That may be one of the highest IQ strategies I've ever seen, as Paulo comes into the pits, Miro up to 4th. Does Miro have what it takes to get this one to the very end? Christian Romao around Canada corner will begin the final lap, but will have traffic up ahead of him. As the Einstein move played for Christian Romao, I see you in chat there. Goes a little bit wide, heads back on circuit. No, Christian pits! Christian Romao's back in the pits! Why did Christian pit again? Did Christian not fuel the car enough? You have got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. Has Christian Romao made an error? Has he made a second error in this one? Lesmana yellows. It's the white flag lap. Anna Adam has fuel to the end. As Lesmana getting right back on, he was sitting in fourth, had to pit off. Do not tell me that Christian Romao did not put in enough fuel. Do not tell me that for the second running, where he could have won this race, I hope, for the sake of everybody watching this race, that there was an issue on his side and it was an emergency pit stop for something we do not know now, but will know soon enough. But if it's a miscalculation, I am absolutely gutted for the Brazilian driver with potentially another mistake that has costed him a race win, where he could have gone 2 for 2 on this day. Did he go for the splash and dash and did not put enough fuel? Was there something wrong with the car? Did he pick up damage? Maybe on lapping? I don't know. But it's still going to be celebrations. For what Anna Adam realized, I have to pit, this race is gone for me. Anna is going to come around the final couple of corners. Still a long race to go for some of the drivers. Yellow flags out for the drivers behind, P3s, LMP2. But Anna Adam is going to bounce back from Imola after being the fastest man on track at the Italian Grand Prix. He got it wrong, made a mistake, but he comes back at his home continent. Road America goes to Anna Adam, and massive points are going to go to his name. The final corner around for Sven Verksty. He is back on the top step. This time it's a cleaner one. And while Belgium didn't count, this one will. And Sven will take victory. Christian Romao will be gutted with a P2 that potentially could have been his race win. Around the final corner for Daniel Santos, he'll be elated knowing that he has got it done. P2 is the best he could do today, but compared to last week where he faced so much bad luck, he's gonna gladly take home a second in that one. But around the final couple of corners through Canada as well. Still close battles here. We're also going to switch to this battle here. Danny Nasseir, I think we can already congratulate him for third position, as well as Eamon Esmir. 13-second gap he's got already. But this is your closest battle we have on track here that we can swap over to GTE for 7th place. Paulo Casper, who is going to be the driver to take home 7th place and more crucial points. Tazayaki, who was taken out. Paulo, who had to make late pit stop, who was out here in the first place. Final opportunity through the back straight, over the kink. Christian Romao also said in the paddock he didn't fuel up his car enough. Cat in the corner, left to go. Paulo still holding on. Can Casper Tazayaki go for it? One more opportunity of a lifetime, and it's known as the final corner. Turn 14. One more. Sends it. Casper, does he find the move? No. Paulo goes deep. It's going to be a drag race at the line. Paulo, Casper Tazayaki, who is going to take home P7 at the line? Give it up to the Porsche. The legs are not on for the Chevy. That's going to do it. But victory for Anna Adam. He wins it at his home continent here at Road America, his neighboring country to the United States, of course, Canada. What a fight to the end, and a race with heartbreak as well. But that is CMRC for you. Heartbreak towards the end, but still a great race overall. We're going to talk to our P1 drivers of both categories, starting off with LMP2's race winner, Anna Adam. The Canadian is going to join me up in the booth, and he's going to take a P1 where he didn't know he was going to win until the final lap. Anna, you take victory here. It's redemption from Imola. How's that feel?
Man, what a crazy race. Oh my, I'm so lucky with that strategy. Oh man, from lap, like I think lap 20 I went off, lost the lead. Bro, so much stuff happened in contact with DTEs. I'm so surprised I won that. It was damage limitation for most of the race.
We also saw you did go off on one of those LMP2s trying to unlap, but you regained the position on pit lane. And then once the green flag came out, you were flying. Take us through the restart phase after the VSC.
Well, Christian had a really good pace, honestly. After the restart, he was sticking with me. It was honestly just the way you navigated through traffic. I think I did that better, so I was able to keep the gap to around a second, and I just managed that from there on. Yeah, I got the pit stop was pretty lucky too, honestly. I don't know how I came out behind him. I think I came in behind and I came out ahead.
Now, the main talking points, the ending there. Clearly, there was no chance you could have made it on the current fuel you were at. Take us through the pit stops towards the end. Was it a late move to go in, realizing there was no fuel left? Were you trying to go to the very end? Was there any strategy involved in it?
Well, okay, at first, Christian, he went in, and I had like 3-4 laps of fuel left and 7 minutes to go. I tried fuel saving, and I found out at the end of the lap that did not work out, so I tried staying out. And when I came in, I had a massive Ferrari strategy. I changed tires instead of just fuel, so I came out behind Christian. And yeah, oh my god, I'm so shocked, man.
So
I thought he had that.
Just to make it straight with you, your last pit stop, you didn't even take fuel, you just took tires.
No, I took fuel, but I changed tires at the same time, so
that's why it was
so
a slow
much time.
stop.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I almost thought you both did a really bad Ferrari strategy, but that wasn't as bad. Other than that, though, it's pure redemption back here and some notable points on the board. But I think the last thing you're caring about is the championship, because you just wanted to make a statement. It's been far too long since you've gotten a race win.
Yeah, it's been way too long, but I'm happy to get the win now, and hope I can carry this momentum to Interlagos.
And a track I definitely know you know very well. Congratulations, P1 in this one.
Thank you.
Switching gears on to the GT category, and that is, of course, our race winner that we're going to bring up right now. It's the Dutchman, Sven, who gets this one on top, and this one should stick for sure. Great race win out there. Maybe a little bit more of a quiet one because you were the dominant one out there on field. Take us through that race.
Well, first of all, I have to say that finally practice paid off. It's a race I finally did take the time to practice for and make a setup for me and my team, which apparently did help. Also, GG to my teammate there. Nice race from him.
Yes, very close between both of you guys during the restarts. Similar question, VSC restart, take us through, how was that one for you?
I think I'm just lucky that I got past early on, and the rest I think was kind of stuck behind for a couple laps, like 3 laps or so. So yeah, that pulled me away at around like 10 seconds or so. So I think I'm more or less just lucky.
May sound like a bit of a crazy question here to end us off, but pitting under the VSC, knowing that you still had to make a pit stop later on in this race, now the only reason why I ask is a lot of those other drivers decided to stay out on the VSC and pit later on to try to get more fuel towards the end. Was that a risk that you were potentially, or an option you were thinking about in your head before making the pit stop, or was that just a straightforward, easy fuel stop for you under yellow?
It was for me honestly kind of clear. I have my my whole strategy I had planned basically in my head, and yeah, so I pitted for, while the VSC was there, I pitted for tires and maximum fuel. So just to get more fuel again. Since I was around halfway of my stint, I had around 40 liters left, I think, on that stint. So that means a full tank, and that means I didn't have to stop again. So for the last pit stop, I just took the tires and the same strategy again, basically. And that got me out of there with pretty good on fuel.
You put this one on top, and P1 for you. It's going to help dearly in this championship, as I'm just double checking for you. You are still one of the drivers who have not been able to pick up some points in this one, but it is going to help quite a bit. Heading towards the final round, is there any chance you may be playing the team game to help Daniel in this championship picture, or at Interlagos is it going to be another warfare? Well, can't wait to see that. That's going to happen, of course, in 2 weeks' time. Congratulations, though, and celebrate that P1 well-deserved for you. I'll put you back in the audience there. Folks, that's going to do it there for another incredible race. Lovely bit of racing we saw here today. We're going to have the full debrief after in the lounge, so you're free to join us, and we're going to have a little conversation. And we'll go through the replay together. But if you have to take your leave now, thank you so much for an incredible bit of racing here. We're taking a break next week, so just want to make that clear so you do not, so you can make some plans with some friends or family. Next week out, it's going to be part of our summer vacation, so you're going to have a free Saturday off. Then it'll be the final round. So 2 weeks' time on the 26th of July. After that, we're going to have another break week. Then we'll be back with our next championship at hand. So we wish you all a good next week off. And we'll see you in 2 weeks' time for the finale at Brazil, Interlagos Brazilian Grand Prix. Thank you, everyone, for a great showcase. We'll meet you guys in the lounge for the post-race debrief. Thank you. That's going to do it here for CMRSC's third round of the championship, and the penultimate round gave us a amazing show. Beautiful wins all down the board. We hope you enjoyed that one. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in, yes, 2 weeks' time for the finale, the Brazilian Grand Prix, Interlagos.